left the neighborhood, could've kept my fucking mind right. Should've stayed where I was. Now I could never go back. Further away from the tree, a little bit further from me. The further I go, the further it seems. I lose another piece of me. Standing barefoot in the creek, I'm too proud to talk about it. Too ashamed to ask for help. Not much. Just ate a ham and cheese croissant.
That's what's up, dude. I had a blueberry bagel.
Fucking fuck yeah, dude.
Cool, man. Thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for asking me.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything you want to promote before we get started on the questions?
Uh, yeah, just want to talk about the new album. That's really all I want to promote, I guess. But
Okay.
down to talk about anything
Are
and
you doing
everything.
are you doing shows or anything? Or are you just kind of keeping it art?
No, no plans really. A lot of the songs on the new album I kind of would want to do with like a full band,
Yeah.
and it's just like a lot of work to get that many people together and have them care about the stuff as much as I do. And
Stay focused on task at hand.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't blame you. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it, dude. St. Charles, incredible album, brand new album, just came out this year. Um, Shit, man. Just go ahead and start at it, man. Talk about the cover art is amazing. The music is it's if I may be so bold to say it's a very mature album coming from you. If I may be.
Well, yeah, thank you, dude. Well,
Yeah.
I with St. Charles, just like conceptually, I wanted to like evolve the sound of Slug Christ. I'm 34 now, so I'm not a young punk little shit kid
Yeah.
anymore. And so yeah, it's a lot of like just sonically, it's a lot of sonic themes that I've explored in my career, but it's just more mature and taking things serious. It's you know. So yeah. Uh but the whole concept of St. Charles was just something to do to have fun.
Sure.
It's a really complex storyline. I don't want to get into it too much because I like to leave things for people to dig for. And I kind of
Appreciate that.
did like a bit of a ARG element with like promoting it and stuff like that. And I don't want to spell it out too much.
I don't.
But yeah, yeah, it's like sonically, it's a bunch of different genres and stuff, but it's all genres that I've explored in the past and just tightening things up, trying to be an adult about music and everything.
Tell me about the songwriting process, just coming and sitting down and going, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and just let it all out. Just come to terms with my time as being a musician, growing up and just even just living in the South in general really affects the songwriting process. Tell me about all of that.
Yeah, I mean, the way I write music is I'm never like I never go into anything with too much of a game plan, but I just hear songs in my head all day, and sing them enough in my brain over and over, where it's like I kind of got to do something with this idea, and some of the songs are like very personal and serious, and a few of them my dad passed in December, so there's some lyrical elements that kind of reflect on that.
Sure.
And some of these songs are really old, like Struggling Without You, I think. Well, I made a demo for it in like 2019,
Wow.
and I think I recorded it with Carol's daughter
Yeah.
like in 2021 during the pandemic or something. So I've had this idea for St. Charles, which would be, evolution and maturity and musical aesthetic. I've been playing around with this idea for like 5 years or so,
Yeah.
and it's kind of cathartic to have it all finally be out, and I can share it with people.
Well, it felt like it kind of came because I listened to your album and then I kind of go back to, Plant Mentality and some other stuff, and you kind of hear it come up in blurbs. It's not,
Yeah.
well, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of heard the concepts of St. Charles kind of come up in little blurbs, and you go, okay, he's developing this. Do you know what I mean? Am I being wrong here? Am I pretty spot on?
No, yeah, definitely spot on. I mean, so my last two albums were Plant Mentality 3 and 4, and with those two albums, I really just kind of like let go and was like, I'm gonna make whatever the fuck I want, weird psychedelic trap songs along with like breakcore drum and bass type shit. And then on the new album, it's like autistic trap songs next to straight up country acoustic songs. It's whatever, and now that I'm some people might say like, maybe that's a little unfocused, and it might be, but to me it's focused like in the overall aesthetic of all the songs. There's a vibe there, and you know one of my biggest pet peeves, which is, I'm kind of asshole for feeling like this, but when people call me like a rapper,
Yeah,
I feel like it really,
it narrows things down.
yeah, and I feel like I'm just a musician
Yes.
who raps. I do make rap songs, but like it's only a tiny piece of it, and yeah, just getting older, letting go of all that shit, and just doing what you want.
Yeah, and staying focused on your art, I see a lot of influence like Marcel Duchamp, Ralph Steadman, and Gerard Scariff in your artwork. Where was the influence on that? And tell me about just even going to art school. Like, how did that help change you and develop you?
Yeah, well, when I had just gotten out of high school, I'd already been doing music for years when I graduated high school, and wasn't making any money at all. But I was selling paintings. So I was like, my parents were like, Chaz, you have to go to school, you have to go to college. So I was like, fuck y'all. If y'all are gonna make me go to college, I'm going to fucking art school,
Yeah.
and y'all are gonna regret it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started out like before I got into my major classes, wanted to do animation
Oh
just because
wow.
love cartoons and anime, and
Mhm.
but as I was there in art school, I was like really got swept up in going through art history, learning about different artists. I got swept up in the whole drama and narrative of artists, and I was like, I'm gonna just do painting, fine art as my major, and did that. And I went to SCAD Atlanta, so Savannah College of Art and Design, but the campus that's in Atlanta, and I am super grateful for my time there. I didn't graduate,
Yeah.
but if I didn't go there, I always had like a propensity for art,
Yeah.
but going there like really forces you to hone your skills
Oh,
and like to do the hard work that it takes to get good at drawing or any type of fine art. And that was a really pivotal time in my life. And then right after art school is when I met all the awful people, like around 2011 or so.
yeah.
And that's when I was in art school. And then around 2014, Awful Records
Oh.
started, and that was like when Slug Christ kind of started.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then developing that character of Slug Christ and just, everybody kind of knows about your mathcore, metalcore stage and everything like
Hmm.
that in the brief moment. But let's go ahead and just kind of stay focused on Slug Christ and just forming that. And my God, it's been already 10 years since the crucifixion. How does that feel for you?
Um, you know, the passage of time is a cruel mistress, and it gives no quarter to any man, and it is what it is. I if when I do play shows, I'll play a couple songs from that album, and it's just a really crazy time in my life. I don't necessarily regret it, anything.
Oh, of course not.
Maybe I do.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, just it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
also kind of like it feels like it's been 10 years too, though.
it has, and it's a weird thing that I'm seeing with a lot of people who are in that sort of cloud rap genre or just that south rap where it just kind of started with SoundCloud and people
Hmm.
evolving and you guys are maturing. I mean, seeing you and Suicide Boys and all these others where they're growing up and it's like holy shit, like, and not just that, but the music's maturing and it's like you guys are really finding your place. And
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Not all of us are lucky enough to find that place to get mature. Not all of us make it here, and I feel incredibly lucky, like on some Final Destination shit, that I escaped a certain fate.
Yep.
Because very easily things could have ended at a billion different points during those times, and so yeah, and I mean, I'm just grateful to be alive and to be able to become a fully functioning, contributing member of society. As anti-punk as that sounds,
Right. Well, we
it
all have
feels,
to at some point. You know what I mean? Like you,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and yeah, I think every soul needs to go through a like anarchy fueled
yeah,
nihilistic punk fuck everyone phase,
100%. Yeah,
just to realize that there's a lot of uh, goodness within stability, and not trying to kill yourself every day, basically.
exactly. It's like you want to better yourself. You want to grow because at a certain point, I've dealt with this too, where there was the struggle of drugs and painkillers and narcotics and pharmaceuticals. And I dealt with that shit. And it just was one of those things that I had to grow away from and just go, no, the future is what's important. Taking care of myself, my health, my family, shit like that. And it's just like there's a certain point where it's like, no, this is my path. I gotta, and even finding faith in God, whether you
Hmm.
believe in God or not, or just have some sort of concept of spirituality and
Yeah.
go in that way, which I know you grew up in the church as well as I did.
Hmm.
You were Southern Baptist. I was more non-dominational kind of
Hmm.
thing. But
Yeah, no, I did that too.
yeah,
I went to the churches where there's like a rock band
yeah,
playing, and the preacher is some cool young guy. Yeah, I did that too.
yeah.
We went from the Southern Baptist hell and brimstone shit to my brother-in-law was a preacher. So he
Wow,
went and
yeah.
started, yeah, so he went and started like his newfangled rock band church where it's all cool youth group, hippy dippy shit like that. So yeah, I did that too.
It's
But
funny you bring that up because I used to be a drummer for the youth group at my church. So yeah.
fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, I always wanted to play guitar, and
Yeah.
I was always a little too young
Yeah.
to be in the bands, but yeah, I mean I bet a lot of musicians in the southeastern music scene of all types probably go through the church
Oh yeah.
musically.
I mean, just shit, dude. A lot of the bands on the Solid State record label, like The Chariot, Norma Jean,
Yeah.
Fred. Uh, see, Under Oath is more Florida, but still in that South, there's that rock band church. I don't know. There was something about
Yeah.
am I
Also that era, it was just trendy to be a
what?
Christian band. Like it was weird. It was a fad. Strange.
It's weird to think it was like a fad. Like, oh yeah,
Because Under Oath, did you see Under Oath is like, we're not a Christian band
yes,
anymore. Like the,
yes.
the, the trend is over. We're not a Christian band.
The trend is over. The trend is dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, to quote what was that? The trend is dead. Is that Norma Jean or was that Norma Jean or the Chariot?
Sounds like Norma Jean
It
lyrics.
sounds like Norma Jean. Okay. But yeah,
Josh
so
Goggin. Yeah.
yeah. And it was one of those things where even just when they added the first cuss word to their album and it was just
Yeah.
like it felt cringy, didn't it?
I know. It's yeah. How can you ever do that?
Right. It was just weird. It
And
was
they were like stealth Christian too. Like if you read their lyrics, you would never be like they're talking about Jesus right now.
right. 100%. 100%.
Which lends to the idea that it was all just a trendy fad. And
I think
then,
yeah. So, and I think they were kind of like in there, but they were kind of because it's got to be a good money maker. It has to be. And I was,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's got,
moms will buy their kids the Christian album.
and it's such like a niche thing to be at where it's like, oh, dude, I know I can get gigs at a church. You know what I mean? Like,
True that, true that. I mean, me in my math grind band where we
yeah,
were openly psychotic towards any like anything at all.
yeah,
I played hella at churches. That
yeah,
was like half the venues we played.
right.
But all those bands were also, grew up indoctrinated in the church and stuff. So in their early 20s, it's probably hard to break out of that if you're indoctrinated enough.
Were you ever, I mean, still kind of got your foot in the church? Are you still part of it, or you just kind of keep what you have and just kind of live life
Well,
with
I mean,
it? It's a
when I was 8 years old, I remember trying to bring my Game Boy into church, and my mom freaking the fuck out, being like, "You can't bring your Game Boy into church." And I've always been skeptical about any institution of man, whether it's this church or that church or the government or whatever.
Mhm.
But when I was a teenager, I as a response to being in the church for so long, I became like a militant atheist, and I thought you were a fucking dumbass if you believed in God. And then I ate an eighth of mushrooms and saw God, and I felt so humbled. I felt like, who the fuck am I to say if God doesn't exist? Like, why? And then I'm a very spiritual person.
Yeah, me too. Mhm.
But I used to hate on Christianity a lot, but now there's so much truth and wisdom in the Bible. It's a holy book for a reason, and I think all religions, at their root, you have they're all religions are formed by men who
Yeah.
are politicking and doing this, and it's of the time. So if you dig through that to the source, there's always nuggets of true enlightenment and just truth in all religions. And for me spiritually, I just kind of intuitively respond to certain aspects from certain belief systems, like reincarnation and the idea of samsara is something that just resonates with me. And also the idea of duality, which is present in Christianity, of like Satan and God, the material world and the spiritual world. Stuff in Judaism, like Jewish mysticism. And I mean, I find, it's so easy to hate on something like that, but it takes respect for yourself and for these things to realize the wisdom in them.
Let's talk about your book, Encyclopedia Supermundania. You wrote the book, you did the artwork and everything like that. Kind of tell people about it. I can't wait for my physical copy. Thank you for the digital copy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna dig a little bit more deep into it. It's just like it's so, you know what I mean? You can't just brush through it. You really got to like envelop yourself in your book. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
tell about the concept going into it, the art that went into it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful art. So thank
Well,
you.
thanks, man. Yeah, thank you. So it's Encyclopedia Supermundanae. It's
Moondog.
Latin.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
It's Latin, so it'd be like Encyclopedia Supermundanae. That's probably how they
Yeah.
say it.
Thank you. Thank you. I
So
I knew I screwed it up. I'm from the Midwest, so you know.
Right, yeah. Supermundane means otherworldly. So roughly translated, that would be an encyclopedia from another world,
Thank you.
basically.
Okay, thank you.
And it was a product of the pandemic, just like sitting on my ass with nothing to do. And I just have always, even when I was a little kid playing with Legos, I would make worlds and I would make cities and there'd be characters in them that do this. This is this guy's job. And I was always drawing and I was always writing little stories as a kid, um, that were like combinations of the Fast and the Furious and the Matrix with like dragons.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, so I've just always, and even in my music, and even if it's just a single painting, I really like creating worlds and doing a book like that. It's so fun because you get to think about every little aspect, like, oh, this group of people evolved in this part of the world. How does that affect their culture? And what kind of creatures live in this part of the world, and then you look at it like geographically. Some sort of event happened here, which is why this part of the world is so fucked up.
Yeah.
But I was inspired by FromSoft video games where they do storytelling in a very vague way, where you kind of have to you will read something and then but the truth of it all is kind of between the lines, and by comparing this paragraph with another paragraph you can be like, oh, this is this guy's name and he probably did this, but they're saying things happened one way, but if you dig deeper maybe things happened another. And I love that because that's how history is. And so I mean, it's an entire world with gods, demons, magic, dragons, wizards, nerd shit.
Yeah. So that whole, I mean, was that just something that you were so influenced? I mean, were you like Dungeons and Dragons? Did you do a lot of research and just kind of read into it? Or do you just have like this massive book collection of like, demonology and, the
I
history?
do have a book on demonology,
Yeah.
but I don't have a massive collection. But
Okay.
I mean, like everything is inspired by like real world mythology or
Yeah.
fiction. Like it's an entire world. So I can pull from fucking anything to create this world, right? And I just all the gods, some might appear to have a like a Hindu aesthetic, whereas some appear more of a Western kind of deal, or Greek or pagan.
Yeah.
And but everything is definitely there's a lot of like kind of esoteric mumbo jumbo in there, which is inspired by my real beliefs and maybe a fictionalized account of kind of some concepts, spiritual concepts that are prevalent in all religions, and things you can find. All these religions are kind of they there's overlapping where they're inspired by each other and stuff. And so yeah, I mean, just pulling from real world esoteric beliefs and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Tell me, I know you brought this up. You're working on is it a horror movie soundtrack or a score?
Yeah, I just scored. I didn't just do it. I've been doing it over maybe the last couple years, but I finally finished it. It's an indie horror movie. It's my first like paid gig scoring,
Wow.
which is it was super fun. It actually reminded me a lot of when I first started making music, and everything was like new and I was really excited about figuring it out and stuff, because scoring films is very different from just making a song. There's no tempo and it's just all like flowy vibes.
Textures and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to adapt to the edit. Sometimes the edit wants to adapt to you and they'll go back and edit it based on something he did, and yeah, that was super fun, and um, I'm hoping it can be a good career path. I've always wanted to score horror movies specifically, but I've always wanted to do that, and so it's kind of a dream come true. And it was very stressful, but also really fun. And uh, we're pitching the second one. The director writer's pitching the second one, try to get funding for it.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, that was
You,
really cool.
are you
The
allowed, oh, I was gonna say, are you allowed to share what movie it is, what title,
Yeah,
what type of genre?
it's called Brown Hair. It's an indie horror film,
Hmm.
very very low budget.
Yep.
I don't think it's streaming anywhere. It's kind of doing festivals right now, but eventually it'll be out somewhere. And yeah.
Have you always kind of had that horror gene in you? Like, I mean, even just some of your music videos show a little bit of a horror vibe or darkness to it. Have you always been kind of fascinated with stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I love horror movies. As a horror movie fan, like 80% of horror movies fucking suck and are worthless. So you have to watch a lot of horror
Oh yeah, you got to
movies
burn through.
to find the good ones. But really, I just love provocative imagery, which
Sure.
that can be anything. It doesn't have to be horror, but the best horror movies are very provocative, and it's something I try to do in my art too. Like if someone looks at something, they're just gonna immediately be like, "What the fuck is that? What's going on here?" That's what I'm drawn to. But yeah, I've always loved horror movies. 80s horror is some of the best media of all time, I think. Like pre CGI, there's so much physical art that's involved in it, and shit like Hellraiser. My favorite, well, I can't say my favorite movie. My favorite horror movie is Possession,
Oh yeah, dude.
which is
Yep. Yep.
79 or 81. I
Yep.
think it's 81 maybe, but I mean,
A good one.
that movie, when I first saw that, I was a teenager. Yeah, like I didn't know horror movies could be like that, or even movies in general. Like it was, and same with Hellraiser. When I first saw Hellraiser, I was like, "This is fucking weird." And when I watched it as an adult, I was like, "Damn, this really speaks to me." The whole like angels to some, demons to others. Like that's such a beautiful line. And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how like I noticed a lot more people are have now recently noticed possession. For a while, it's been like it was like an underground thing. Like you had to find
Yeah, dude.
some guy
Yeah. I
version. Yeah.
mean, I loved breaking out. Have you heard of Possession when I was younger? But I think they're remaking it, and
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson is
Oh,
gonna. I love Robert Pattinson.
I
You
do
don't
too.
love it?
No, don't get me wrong. I don't hate him. I'm weary about remakes, especially with something so sacred.
I know,
You
I
know what I mean?
know.
Yeah.
I it's yeah. It's very scary
Yeah.
because they're gonna do it all CG. Like But I mean, I think there's a lot of modern horror movies like The Substance that use crazy prosthetics mixed with CG, and the effect is fucking awesome.
That was a wild movie. That was like one of those movies that just the sound of him eating shrimp made me sick. Like that.
yeah,
And
that his character was fucking awesome. He'd
yes,
be like right up in the screen or
it's so in this. Yeah,
yeah.
and it's just like it's unnerving and just even just the body horror. I was just like, oh, like it just it's a feeling I haven't felt in a long time. Feeling woozy from watching a horror movie. You know what I mean?
Dude, do you like Brian or Brandon Cronenberg, David Cronenberg's
Oh
son?
yeah, yeah,
Bro, his
dude.
shit is fucking dope, man. Like, I feel like David Cronenberg is body horror, right?
Very body horror. Yeah.
But his son, I think it's Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, yeah, his son Brandon is like identity horror. Like, the same concept, but like
Yeah.
the fucking up of who am I?
Yeah. It's mental, man.
Dude, the one with Skarsgård Infinity Pool
Yeah.
was
Oh
fucking amazing, bro.
God. That was so crazy. That was
Like
so intense.
so yeah, dude,
Yeah.
and there's a really amazing scene at the very end of that movie, which is very provocative, where he's walking through the hotel lobby. It's like all in slow-mo,
Yeah.
and in the background are these dudes with long like noses and the square furry hats, and there's a sign that says Jewish voguing, and they're practicing like this beautiful stuff, pure, like so beautiful. And what in Possessor, did you
Yeah.
see Possessor?
Yep. Possessor. Yep.
Also just super complex. I love how he doesn't spell anything out for you. Like you see the main character like working in some place, you don't know what the fuck they're doing. They never explain it to you. They don't explain how any of the technology works, but you don't need to know. And that like space there is awesome for, the imagination of the viewer to piece it together.
Are you a fan of like just avant-garde cinema as well? Like I know
Oh
you get
yeah.
a lot of avant-garde to your music, but I think that's what drew me to you is that you have these avant-garde elements that I went, oh, this speaks to me more than a lot of these other artists. So I think that's why I latched on to you so hard is just that I was like, oh, he's like from a parallel dimension. This dude isn't even of this world. He is who he is. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love the avant-garde. I've always been a huge fan
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
avant-garde.
I mean, dude, all my favorite artists, whether they're musicians, painters, writer, directors, they're all psychotic.
Yeah.
Um, they're crazy, and my favorite stuff is stuff that maybe you don't even like or understand the first time you experience it. Like one of my favorite bands, Terra Melos, they're a math rock band.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The first time I heard them, I was like, what is this? Why would anyone ever like this? Or the band Hella, which
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Zach
Oh
Hill
my
played
gosh.
drums.
Yeah, just oh.
Zach Hill's solo work is some of my favorite music of all time. Astrological Straits, like, I
Mhm.
mean, I'm super inspired by just his entire career. He's one of those guys that does whatever the fuck he wants and is very successful at it. And I think there's nothing more beautiful than being confident in your own psychosis, because we all humans, we are all insane, especially nowadays. Like in the digital age, there's so much information being flung at you on a minute by minute basis that it's pretty impossible not to be mentally ill in today's world.
No, no.
Everyone has so much anxiety, and we're all depressed, and we're all trying to find ways to make us not want to kill ourselves.
Mhm.
And so, and I think this is the job of the artist, is to, be truthful in whatever way that may be. And the first step of that is accepting that we're all intelligent animals. And you need to respect that we're all psychotic, and we need to be real about it. And that's why the weirdest, craziest, you mentioned Marcel Duchamp, he was a fucking psycho in the 1910s doing the wildest shit,
Wild as shit, dude.
like probably like 50 years ahead of his time. And he was super successful back in the day. And I think that's the job of the artist, and it's what me as a fan of art and media, that's what I respond to, is like Ari Aster.
Mm-hmm.
uh Hereditary, amazing film. Midsommar, amazing. Beau is Afraid
Yes.
was so fucking
That
dope, dude.
gave me so much fucking anxiety watching that because you're in his you go in as a character and you're going, okay, I'm understanding this character. I feel this character. And he has intense anxiety. And then he can't even trust his own. There's something about not being able to trust your own brain
Yeah.
is unnerving to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we all feel that, you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way that movie it's not a representation of the world the way it is, but it's a perfect representation of the way the modern world feels. Like when he's outside of his apartment and there's just homeless psychopaths just running around like beating each other up and shit and screaming, like that's what it feels like to live out here in LA. Like, and when he's walking along the street and he sees a crowd of people and there's like a kid filming the top of a building and he's like, "What's going on?" And the kid is laughing. He's like, "This guy's about to kill himself."
Yep.
Just like, and the teenage girls when he lives with the family, they're just anytime that they talk to him, they're always filming him with
Yeah.
their phone.
Yeah.
Like I love that. And I really appreciate Ari Aster's work because yeah, he's not afraid to be avant-garde and be a little
Provocative.
provocative. Yeah.
Like his first short, some was it something about
Dude,
dude?
the funny thing about the Johnsons, I
Yes.
think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just learned that that was him. I watched that when it came out like on YouTube and just like a few months ago learned that was Ari. That makes so much sense. What
I
a fucking
know.
psycho. I love this guy.
Yeah. It was just one of those. I was just like he just knows how to like flip the script, and you're just like, oh, like it just something about.
Yeah.
I love that. I like going into things feeling uncomfortable, whether it be music or film or just art in general.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want to deal with just the same old, cookie cutter bullshit. I like going in, going, okay, make me feel uncomfortable. Give me something that makes me reflective or whatever.
Yeah,
That's,
uncomfortable dark truths, you
yeah,
know. There's so much of modern movies and just media in general is just like we're trying to say the right thing to make everyone feel good about themselves and this guy is a little edgy so he's the bad guy and it's also why I love media from the 70s like
mm-hmm,
because I feel like characters in the 70s in movies were allowed to be humans.
yeah,
Like they were alcoholics and might beat their wives, but they were also a damn good detective and they got the job done, you know?
yep. And even just like I think my favorite would be 70s cinema and even just Italian. I love Italian cinema.
Uh-huh.
Gallows is my favorite go-to, with Argento and Bava and all of them. Those are definitely my go-tos when even just like in comfort. Like it's unsettling, but I find comfort in that shit. It's weird.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you I mean, movies, music and stuff, as you get older, have you found new influences that you went, "Oh shit," like how did I not come across this? And has it even just influenced your music taste in general, or your music style in general?
You know, dude, I mean, I am constantly looking for something to inspire me. I feel like it's sort of a blessing and a curse, but I literally can't do anything unless I am just 100% inspired to do it. I have to be inspired to eat food, you know?
Yep.
Like uh and it's why I have never maintained a job, but
Mhm.
it's also why I've had some success in music and other stuff is because I can't do anything except that. So I'm constantly looking for shit like that. I mean, like the directors we were talking about,
Yeah.
Brandon Cronenberg, Ari Aster, those are new guys that are doing things that I never imagined and that you know make me inspired. Music, I don't know. I honestly don't really listen to. I'm always just making music. I listen to what my
Sure.
girlfriend plays in the car when I'm driving her to get her nails done or whatever. But if I'm just driving around in the car by myself, I'm usually just in complete silence, like just driving around.
Yeah.
Um, that's not to say I don't like any new artists or anything. Like Ethel Kane is fucking awesome. but I just don't pay attention
Okay.
as much as I used to, just because I'm older, and that's really all there is to it. I just but yeah, I'm always making music, so I'm never like really on the hunt for new music. But I mean, I find I can get inspired for a song by looking at a cool plant or something on the sidewalk. Yeah, it can come from anywhere. It can come from just thinking, just you sitting down and just thinking, and that can spur something on that'll give you a great idea.
Do you have like meditative moments where you just like allow these sort of creative ideas? Do you go for a walk? Do you just, or does it just, and then you write it down, or you take a note in your phone or anything like that?
Well, yeah, I have a like in my phone, I have like a bunch of different notes where like one of them is just a bunch of just cool phrases that I just type down. And
I
it's
love
just
good.
like
I do that too.
poetic phrase, like 100 of them. Then there's, stuff for ideas for my book. There's so many ideas that I have to write down for that. I could never remember them all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I live in a fucking lame ass apartment out here in Silver Lake in LA,
Yeah.
and I can't smoke like 20 feet near the premises, so I do have to go on a walk. But dude, I'm constantly. I don't ever really sit there and meditate, but I probably should, but I can't. It's just constantly going, dude. It's sometimes it feels maybe too much. Maybe everyone's like that. I don't know, but it just never stops though.
Oh yeah, I
And
get that.
it's all about writing something down and following through. Everything starts off with just an idea of fleeting glimpse of something great, and being a good artist is about finding that glimpse, realizing the value in it, and building something out of nothing just from some bullshit glimmer of an idea you had.
No, I get that. And are you working on a brand new book?
So I mean, yeah, I've been like doing drawings and paintings for it. It's not going to be out anytime soon or anything. I'm not even like I've probably got like 10 or 15 drawings for it, which
Okay.
sounds like a lot, but for
For a
this
book.
type of thing, it's really not. And but I'm kind of doing that at a very slow pace. I'll go where I'll, get sick of drawing, then I'll do music for a while. And I've been writing a novel as well that's unrelated to the Encyclopedia Supermundanae.
Yeah.
And I've been writing that for since like I probably started writing it in 2016 or something, and then I won't touch it for like 3 years, and then I'll think about something and be like, oh shit, and then get back into it.
I can do it.
And yeah,
Fair enough, man. No, that's really cool just because you're keeping yourself fresh, you're keeping yourself working. I mean, what would you do? Like, if it wasn't music, art, would you step into animation or acting or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, I would love to do some acting. I think I'd be good at it just from the little bit that I have done. If I wasn't an artist of any kind, I would probably be like a Unabomber type dude living in a cabin, like just thinking too much about society and trying to do some crazy shit.
Sure.
Yeah, if I didn't have art and a reason to exist within society, because as an artist, you need people to like your work. So that's the only thing keeping me here. Yeah, if I didn't have that, dude, who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, I know. And I'm the exact same way where it's like if I didn't have music or just any like movies or anything like that, it's like that's kind of my glue, my bloodline, where it's like, if I don't have a music, if I didn't have music in my head, it would just be nothing but the voices, and it's just like
Yeah,
this is getting overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
need that distraction.
And yeah, and at this point, I've just done it so long. It's kind of just what I do, and I don't ever see myself not doing it, because I'm just an old dog who's already learned his tricks.
What kind of gear do you use when you record? Like, do you use a digital audio workshop? Do you use keyboards, anything like that? What's your go-to?
Yeah, so I mean, I use anything I can get my hands on, but I just use this Rode mic here,
Oh, yep.
hooked up to a interface that my friend gave me like 10 years ago, still works,
Nice.
still trucking along.
There you go.
Just on Ableton. Got my guitars here,
Oh,
use
sweet,
those.
dude.
I've got some weird flutes.
Dude, that's awesome. There you go.
I have this, yeah, this and I also for the horror movie score, I had to
Mhm.
collect a lot of weird shit
Yeah, like what?
to make weird noises with, and yeah, I'll just use whatever I can get my hands on. But yeah, it's just all a bedroom setup like any
Oh,
other modern musician. Here, I'll show you my setup right here. This is
sure.
my art table slash music
Oh, hell yeah,
table.
dude. I love that.
Yep. And so yeah, just in the room in the apartment, nothing. I don't really like going to studios. It's kind of too it's like pressure, I guess,
Yeah,
and
I get that.
if someone's there that you're working with that you don't know, and maybe they're not familiar with your work and like your mindset on art in general,
Sure.
shit can be useless, and I just prefer making music by myself in my bedroom, you know.
What kind of elements did you bring for the horror movie soundtrack? Was there a certain style you were going for, or did you just kind of go,
it I'm
yeah,
glad you asked.
yeah, go ahead.
So this is a piece of a Swiffer.
Hmm.
It's like a pipe.
Sure, yeah,
And for so like when kind of like a scary stab, this is just one of the main elements. Just be like, there it is,
there it is.
kind of like a,
Yeah, yep, like a jump.
and just looking for weird shit like that, and recording myself going like, and then reversing it and stretching it out and pitching it up, and then layering it 12 times, and eventually, that's also how I make my personal music. I just you just start with the sound and go from there. Yeah, but in the horror score, like a lot of drones built off of vocals and flutes,
Mhm.
and also there's an element of it's called Inuit throat percussion, where it's like the people in Alaska, only women can do it. It's like a magical type thing. And there's two women, they look at each other dead in the eyes, and it's like one will be like and it creates this crazy like trance like rhythm. So I got to do a little bit of that, like making little and then like piecing it together. That was another sonic element of it. And there's some like just like regular music with actual notes. Most of the soundtrack is just noises, and there's very little that resembles music at all.
Sure.
But there are some like kind of slower emotional moments with actual notes.
Notes and stuff. God,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Like I never would have thought to bring that sort of the I'm trying to find the word the vocal point where it brings that trend. Like you now that you brought it up, I studied a lot into that where it was just people coming together and just using what they have to bring music in and just kind of build this trance like state, whether it's a drum or it's their voice
Hmm.
or anything. And so it's always been a real beautiful personal experience to go through that.
Yeah, I mean the first the first like origins of music are people chanting and banging their hands on shit and smacking sticks against logs and shit like that. And like it's one thing that I that being a solo musician that I miss about being in a band is like there's nothing more spiritual than in my math grind band, right? We would have to practice. These are very complex riffs with very weird odd time signatures, constantly shifting tempo. And there's a moment when it's just the three of us in our practice space where we finally nail this just super hard part.
Yep.
And there's nothing more spiritual and like um just ascendant than like doing that. And when you're making music alone in your bedroom, you do get that, but it's something about being locked in to a rhythm with another soul
Yeah.
is something that hits primitive, like a primitive aspect of your brain where which is something we lack in modern day, you know. There's out here in LA, no one wants to talk to you. I just got back from my my dad's house where in Jasper, Georgia, which is about as North Georgia as you can get. And everyone talks to each other. Everyone's a character. Everyone has personality, and they all want to say hey. And it's the exact opposite out here, you know. And yeah, I think that's something missing in modern life is that tribal sense of community, I guess, you know. And
Right.
people look for that in all sorts of things, like politics and shit like that.
And
And it is what it is, you know.
yeah. Do I got you for a couple more questions? Oh, you're lighting up a cigarette. I didn't know if you had to take it outside or anything like
No,
that.
it's weed. It's weed.
Okay, no, you're cool. Okay, I just want to make sure because I didn't know if you're like, oh, I got to go out for a smoke. If you want me to
No,
like,
no, 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 no. You got me as long as you want me.
okay. So you moved to LA. Tell me, are you just working in being in LA for a job wise? Because I know you moved from Georgia.
Yeah, I've been out here since 2018.
Okay.
I met my longtime girlfriend out here, my fiance. And she moved to Atlanta with me for a couple years. Then we moved out here, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of career opportunities. I feel like I have a few more years out here to maybe try to get this scoring thing going, film score thing going, and you know, there's just a lot of people out here to work with, and I don't enjoy it. I hate Los Angeles,
Yeah.
but you know, it's like anywhere. It's got good things, got bad things. It's stressful living here, though. I'll
Yeah.
say that much.
Are you wanting to like find other people to collaborate with? Like, is that something you always wanted to do? I mean, I know the film score. Are you looking to just team up with anybody else and kind of expand your music horizon?
Um, yeah, dude. I mean, I always love meeting like-minded artists. You know, there's nothing more amazing than meeting a fellow psycho who's has and knows what they want, and you guys synergize well together. You know, and that's very rare. But yeah, I mean, I say I sit here alone in my bedroom making music, and I do, but I also love working with people out here. I love kind of doing an kind of producer role where like I have artists and they might come to me with like a chord progression or something, and I flesh it out for them, or kind of direct someone, being like to take a look at someone and be like, we should do this with you, and you know, I love playing that role, and yeah.
Are you sticking around with Awful Records and tell me how did that relationship start up?
Yeah, I mean,
Awful Records.
I'll always be friends with everyone in Alpha Records. Those are my brothers and sisters. Those are some lifelong friends. And Awful Records is less of a record label and more of a just a collective, you know. So I mean, I'll always claim Awful Records as Slug Christ, like, and I'll never not claim awful.
Um,
But I still talk to them. I still talk to Father on the reg. We've been playing Death Stranding 2, talking about it, going back and forth. And I have a few like production things that I did on his new album, which came out on the same day as my album.
yeah, I was gonna add that. Thank you for reminding me. I was gonna add that to the description of the
Hmm.
for the YouTube video. Thank you for reminding me. I was gonna add that link to it. So awesome. Yeah, cool. Geez, I'm sorry that sounded very unprofessional. So, um, was there ever a moment or an album that you created? You went, I did you ever have like a moment where you're like, I kind of regret doing that? Did you have a regret moment when it comes to making an album?
Well, yeah, I mean, I regret that people think of me as the heroin guy for sure.
Okay.
I regret I regret you know, just being more concerned with being like a drug addict and being
Mm,
a junkie than experiencing what was happening at the time. And I regret a lot of stuff, but at the same time, I also think, it caused me to grow, and maybe I needed to go through that. It was kind of like a destiny type thing.
yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, when they think of Slug Christ, they might just think of like a meme rapper,
Hmm.
people who have only heard my biggest songs from 10 years ago, and people constantly bring them up and stuff, and it's not like I'm not proud of that work or anything, but it's frustrating when people boil you down to one thing. So yeah, I really do regret being the drug heroin
I
guy
get
for sure.
no, I get that, and I mean,
Especially now that I'm older and I'm trying to have a career in music in a professional world, it could come up and I have to explain myself, and I have to just hope that they're cool with that.
when did something like that come into like where it woke you up and you went, "Oh fuck, I really got to get." Was it Little Peep's death or anything, or was there something that just hit you and you went, "Okay, I got to go on this different path"?
Well, to be honest, dude, the thing that got me off opioids,
Mm-hmm.
off fentanyl, was I was buying a gram of fent every 2 days, which was $140.
Nope.
I wasn't getting high. It was
Mm-hmm.
just taking away the withdrawals. So,
Yep.
I could sit there and do so much fentanyl
Mm-hmm.
and not even get high.
Yep.
And with all the death and destruction that probably did influence me to want to get off, when you're in that world, it's all around you. You constantly see it. You just have to compartmentalize it to feed your addiction or whatever. But yeah, it was just like I've hit the peak. I'm such a fucking junkie drug addict that I can't even get high anymore. Like, what? How much sense does that make? And it kind of sounds melodramatic, but getting my cats, I have two cats, just having something that you have to take care of for nothing in return other than its love and respect. There's
Right.
something to that, that can make you treasure the sanctity of life and have a little bit more respect for your own life. And but yeah, when Peep died, I mean, it wasn't a wake up call. I had already had that wake up call years in, before, and but just that shit like that really made me thankful just to be alive, because we can sit here and get depressed and we can dwell on bullshit and talk about how hard life is and how much it sucks, but it's truly a gift to be able to
Right.
struggle. Not all of us get to struggle. Not all of us get to go through that. And life is struggle. You know, the whole life is a battle for anything that's alive. It's a battle to stay alive, and it's a gift to fight that battle. And to squander it, you know, the sheer like odds of me and you existing are just like astronomical. You know, your mom had to meet your dad, their parents had to meet their parents. Out of the 1 jillion sperms that came out of your dad's nuts, you know, it had the one had to hit the one egg. And it's, you know, you can look at it as it just all being random, which it is, but the polar duality of that is also true. You know, it's destiny, and we were meant to be here. And yeah, just to want to get so fucked up every day that you're not even thinking. It's like anti-spiritual. It's just very egotistical and selfish, you know. And but yeah, I mean,
No, I understand that.
yeah.
It's tough.
And there's a lot of things
Yeah.
that can make a person feel that way and wake them up, you know.
No, because I went through stuff like that where it was if you're stealing pills from someone's cabinet and people who actually need it and stuff, it's just I came to those moments where I went, what the fuck am I doing? Like, any again, you spell it out so plainly, is you're not even doing it to get high anymore. The high is getting it. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's the process of getting it. It's going
Yeah.
through these moments where you don't know if you're going to get killed, you don't know if you're going to get caught, you don't know how you're going to
Right.
get money. It's a weird thing that you go
It's a
through.
full-time job too, you know. You don't have like the mental capacity to think about anything else. And if you're hurting, you know, every life stops until you get the fix. And then you get, okay, yeah, now I have to eat because I haven't eaten in 3 days or something, you know?
So no, I'm glad you got yourself together. I'm glad you got clean. We share a lot of the same stories, and it's one of those things where finding you was one of those moments where I was looking for. It's funny. I was looking for music, but for free, and I found you on Dat Piff.
Okay.
And I found God is Under the Porch on Dat Piff, and it was one of those things where it struck me, and it was just one of those, again, one of those one in a million chances where it was just one of those things that just spontaneously happened. And it was like, yeah, so man,
Some
you're
quantum entanglement going
that's
on. Yeah.
what it is, man. 100%, 100%. So, um, let me go through my questions. I apologize for feeling,
I like your green room shirt, by the way.
thank
That's
you.
the movie, right?
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, yeah, that movie is fucking awesome, dude. And I love how kind of punk rock and low budget it is, but it looks and feels like legit, you know.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of like, there's some good punk. I mean, SLC Punk.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Room's a great one. I just love any punk with cinema in it. It's just, but Green Room really was like, oh no, they really understood like the struggling band on the road siphoning
For
gasoline,
sure, for sure.
roller skate play, and just you don't know who you're going to share the stage with. You don't know when a gig is going to get canceled.
Dude, yeah, no, I remember touring with my band in high school over spring break. The funniest shit, dude. Like I can't imagine. We went out on tour with like $50 between all of us, hoping we made just enough, hoping we'd make $50 at the show so that we could make it to the next venue and maybe buy a cheeseburger on the way.
What was your what was your survival snack on the road? Was it granola bars or something? What kept you guys going?
I just wouldn't eat. Yeah, no, I have like I don't think I'm anorexic and I don't think I have an eating disorder, but I've just never enjoyed eating.
Sure.
I've
Okay.
gotten into cooking the last couple years, so it's helped me keep my weight up, but I've just never enjoyed eating. And yeah.
No, it's okay. Who were some of your favorite bands that you went on tour with?
Oh, dude. Well, there was this band City at IFA that we toured with everywhere. I mean, they were all just a bunch of local bands. There was this band, this Hideous Strength. Just these local bands we would tour with. I mean, we opened up for a lot of bands that were some of my favorite bands ever. Like we opened for the Number 12 Looks Like You, Psyopus, uh, Fall of Troy. Opened for Heavy Heavy Lolo. Job for a Cowboy, like really cool, dope ass bands. We didn't really tour with any super cool bands or anything, but yeah, that I love that era of music, and I love that technical math genre because it's provocative and it takes some thinking about it to fully understand it, you know.
Yeah, even just like Dillinger Escape Plan is probably one of my,
Yeah,
where it's
for
just
sure.
their first rec where it's just, but it's just odd time. Like I love as a drummer and just as a musician in general, I like time signatures that are just like you're trying to like keep up, and I'm like
Yeah.
I like to feel.
Yeah. I mean I love odd time signatures, like when people do them to accentuate the oddness when it's like 15/8. But I also love like how Radiohead uses odd time signatures where if you're a musician you can nod your head to it, and even the layman can wouldn't even really notice that it's an odd time, you know.
And like just adding even just weird time like time signatures using electronics in that way where electronics are very precise
Hmm.
consistent thing. If you can figure out how to make an odd beat, I mean even just with Radiohead alone using the modulars and just
Yeah.
it's just like it's fascinating shit to me. I've always been.
Yeah. Radiohead is probably in my top five, just because like of the experimentation and the like, just confidence to just go off into the unknown and do something insane. And I just love the way that they work, and watching them live is really cool to see how where all these weird ass noises come from, and they're usually coming from some actual piece of equipment rather than some MP3 file on a computer, you know? Love that band. And I love bands like that. And Dillinger is fucking awesome. I love every era of Dillinger too. I love Calculating Infinity, but I also love like Fireworks when they were doing more like poppy almost music. Like,
One of Us Is the
yeah.
Killer is one of my favorite ones. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
with Greg, Greg is a hell of a fucking vocalist.
Greg is super
Yeah,
dope. Yeah.
so
It was
good.
big shoes for him to fill to replace the old dude, but he brought his own
Yeah,
swag, and you know, his addition to the band kind of, you can see that how it altered the course of it. And
yeah, definitely. Who is one of your favorite collabs to work? Because you've worked with so many, anybody in the underground scene, who is one that really stands out the most for you?
oh man, well, I gotta say, I just working with my awful homies, you know, we just all know each other so well, and we all know each other's strengths, that it's very easy to synergize with each other.
Yeah.
um I love working, you know, dude. Those would be my favorite people to work with. But any musician that knows what they want to do, knows what they're capable of, and you know, I I super respect it, and it's in everyone. I can't stand some fucker that doesn't know what they want to do. They're the artist, but they don't know what they should do. Should I do this? Should I do that? How should I do this? You're the fucking artist, dude. This is your thing.
I get that, dude. No, because there's certain producer or not produce. Most producers know what the fuck they're doing. They
Right. They have
totally
to.
you
They have to know. Yeah.
have to. But when it comes to certain musicians where they want to collab, dude, let's collab. Let's fucking collab. You know, they blow up your phone, they blow up your email, da da da. And you go, all right, man, let's do something. And
And
then,
they sit in the room and watch you make a song.
yeah, they sit and watch you, and then you go, hey, let's come up, like, let's sit and let's work on an idea together. And they go, I don't know how to add any. It's just,
I know, dude. There's nothing worse than that. And you know, modern day musicians, and I'm sure it's been like this
yeah.
for decades now, but it seems to be getting worse and worse. But you know, being a successful musician nowadays, the music is like the fifth most important thing, you know? The most important thing is you got to look like a psychopath and have, you know, 15 colors in your hair and like plastic surgery, and you have to dress like a fucking sex dungeon slave or whatever. And then second, you have to just be loud and obnoxious and constantly screaming your opinions, you know. And it's just I am so fine with remaining like at the level I am, you know. And I've never wanted to be like Justin Bieber. And a lot of people that I work with, a lot of solo artists, they all want to be as famous as possible, you know. And that's fine. It's just, and I don't hate on anyone that wants to do that, but I just I have nothing, I feel nothing but sad for Justin Bieber.
He's gone through
I
so much shit. God, hard. It's hard to see him like that, you know?
I know, and just any artist that big, I mean, it takes a certain person to want to be that famous. But in his case, you know, he's a little kid. How much of that? Yeah, I just, that seems like a fate worse than death is to just be Justin Bieber. And I am coming, I say that from a place of sympathy, because if I were him, I would have killed myself so many years ago. And yeah, I just, and sometimes even, you know, at the height of Alpha Records, it was like a little much for me to handle. And it, you know, it's kind of makes your mind race and it makes you paranoid. So I couldn't imagine what someone who's actually famous would just the day to day shit they got to deal with. I would never want that. And
Not at all.
I'm so fine with just being like an underground cult dude.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't want the majority of people to like what I do. You know, I'm looking for the fellow psychopaths that like 3 out of 10 people or something, you know, like those three crazy fuckers is who I'm trying to speak to, and that's whose opinion I care about, you know. If I showed my music to my aunt, I don't think she would understand it, and I also don't give a fuck what she thinks about it because I'm not trying to appeal to this person, you know. I So there it's almost like I'm succeeding by being unsuccessful.
Right. And you no, you want certain you want to go, look, you know, you want some people to take away stuff from your music, but you go, if you don't understand it, then it's obviously not for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, but you know, if someone's kind of comfortable, if someone if someone is into art, and that may be music or whatever, anything, they're gonna be able to glean the value in something if there is value in it, you know? And so not everyone is gonna like your shit, and I don't think any artist should, you know. If you're this is another reason why modern media fucking sucks, is because they're trying to
Mhm.
make everyone happy,
Yeah.
you know. And when you try to do that, you instead of hitting a 10 in this category, you're hitting fives on all levels, and it's just mid. Bro, my girlfriend makes me go to the movies to watch the lamest dumbest fucking movies, bro. Like fucking
I
what
get
was the dude, the new Quiet Place movie.
mm-hmm.
It's just like mid, and everything like that. I mean, so yeah, I mean, a good artist is gonna try to be specialized and find their niche and do one thing or a few things really good, you know.
Do you drag her to art house type stuff? Because I do that with my wife. Like I'm a total art house. Like, oh, this is strange. Come see this. You know, do you drag your girlfriend to see that type of stuff? Or it's like, look, this is a fucking weird one.
No, we've gone to museums and stuff. I
Okay.
like going to see like you know, real famous paintings.
Okay.
And we've done that type of thing. But
But like what with like movies? Like you're like, come watch, Life Above, weird movies with it. Like, do you go, look, it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah.
tough,
Yeah,
but
I
you're gonna
mean,
watch this with me.
we're both weirdo horror fans for sure. And I mean, I honestly don't like going to the movies. I will go for like Dune
Mm-hmm.
and Nosferatu and you know, Robert Eggers, another one of my
Oh,
favorite modern good.
I will always be of the Church of Egger, dude. I can't wait
Bro.
for the Christmas Carol he's got coming up. He's doing a Christmas Carol. His
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
William Defoe, dude. I'm like, if he brings the horror elements, dude,
Right.
fucking
That's
in.
yeah,
That's what it was been missing this whole time.
yeah, his work is truly phenomenal. Yeah, the first time I saw The Witch, like
Oh, yeah.
unlike anything I had ever seen, and it was so real. Everything feels so real because he does so much research and stuff and into like the lingo and dialects of the time. But
And
yeah,
he brought back the folk horror genre that was kind of like in the dust for a while. Like he brought folk horror back into the mainstream. And
right.
even just that, there was this. I think it's called. Is it Into the Woods? There's this whole. It's like a 4 hour documentary about just folk horror in general and different uh places in the country that have their different stories and how they've translated it through books and through movies and stuff.
Hmm.
So I think you would dig it. It's really fascinating and it just really like adds a whole because you're like, oh, I want to watch that movie or I want to watch that. Like just the folk horror in general is just like it's a whole nother fucking world,
So
dude.
that would be like The Wicker Man
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
it's so much more than that. Like you go into like the oh fuck god damn it. Now I'm drawing a blank. Let me pull it up real quick. But yeah, like Wicker Man, The Witch is another one. Let me see. There's so many crazy folk horror movies. The Ritual, I think, is now on
The
Netflix.
Ritual is awesome,
So
dude. The creature design
yeah,
of is so badass, bro.
so good, dude. It's wild how they did that. And it's just like because you're going, wait, is that a person? And then the
Yeah, it's yeah, yeah.
in my
It's
mind.
really, I'm like actually pissed I didn't think of it. It's
Yeah,
that good, you know.
right. It's called Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched, and it's on Tubi if you use Tubi, or I think
I've
it's
never heard of that.
okay. It's a 3 hours and 14-minute documentary of different folk horrors. They start from the beginning where it was like, okay, here's like the main three with like Wicker Man and Blood on Satan's Claw and stuff like that. And then they go, whoa, and they just go from there to modern to different countries have their, Japanese horror, folk horror,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like they go all over the dude. You will find it the most fascinating shit, and you'll be so zoned in for 3 hours and 14 minutes. You don't
Word.
even realize how long this time has gone by. And I think you for sure would fucking love that shit, dude. So I
Cool, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
oh man, awesome. Let me see if I got anything else. I might let you go at this point. What's life looking like in the future for Slug Christ?
Um, ain't no telling,
Okay.
but hopefully just keep doing what I'm doing, get better at it, and hopefully start making more money at whatever I'm doing. That'd be cool.
All right. Yeah, I'll make sure everybody, yeah, everybody who's watching this or listening to this, do check out your is it I know it's on your you have a website where you sell all your merch,
Mhm.
your paint,
Yeah.
your book. You got physical copies of your albums. I think you got shirts and stuff as
Yeah,
well.
Blackhouse Records.
Blackhouse Records. Thank you.
Yeah, you can just Google Blackhouse Records Store NB,
Yep.
and yeah, all my physical merch, like my book, shirts. Also, there's I do shirts with Copes, so a bunch of my drawings. That's just copes.shop, I think is the URL. So yeah, a lot of my art is on shirts there, and yeah, that's about where you can buy all my shit. Yeah.
Any plans on putting St. Charles on Bandcamp or making a physical copy? Because I'll definitely.
Yeah, I need to put it on Bandcamp. Thanks for reminding me. There's
All right,
definitely physicals coming out though, for sure.
cool. All right, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on my podcast, dude. I'm a huge fan of your work. I really appreciate your time, dude.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Thanks for asking me to be on it.
Yeah, no problem, bud. Thank you so much.